Hi everyone, Ray here. On this video, I am going to talk about the basics of life insurance, what it is, how does it work, and what you need in order to get one. Life insurance is a contract or an agreement wherein you pay a certain amount of money regularly to a company in exchange for financial support or protection for your loved ones in case of death or demise. So basically, when you die, knock on wood, your loved ones get a certain amount of money from the insurance company which they may use for any reason. Usually to make up for the income lost provided by you, especially if you are the breadwinner, or they may use it for funeral or burial expenses. They may also use it to pay lingering debts, or just to have finances that will help them get back on their feet. Why do you need to get one? Whether you get an insurance or not, someone will always pay during your sad times or sad events. SAD is actually an acronym which means sickness, accident, or disability or death. Who do you want to pay for those? The insurance company or your family? Especially if you're the breadwinner, who will provide financial support? The families of those people or breadwinners who have no life insurances usually end up using their life savings, or they accumulate more debt by borrowing money from friends or family if their money isn't enough, or they sell their assets. So just to make up for the financial support lost by their loved one. I know that there are still some people who are skeptic about life insurances, maybe because they know someone who had a bad experience, but this is mostly because of lack of knowledge or misunderstanding. Before getting an insurance policy, be sure to review and understand your contract or insurance policy. When filing claims, insurance companies do their own assessment and research in order to ensure that there are no false claims, or the claims are based on whatever coverage you have on your policy. Some reasons of denied claims are because the client faked the death of the insured, or they refused to provide any proof of death or provide medical evaluations. So those are some of the examples why clients are not able to claim. Also, when applying for an insurance company, always be honest when it comes to past medical records, because if you don't, you may have a problem in claiming illness claims in the future. I've never encountered this before, but I've been hearing this problem from different insurance companies. So just in insurance in general, always be honest, especially when asked about your medical history. Being skeptic is good, but all I can say is when in doubt, do your own research. When is the best time to get an insurance? Once you secure your emergency fund, which is at least 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses, and you have a stable source of income, then you can get an insurance policy, because you do need to continuously pay for your insurance for 5, 10, 15, or X number of years depending on your policy. Do not wait for that day that no insurance company will accept you because you are not insurable, because it is possible that an insurance company will deny your application. The earlier you get an insurance, the better, because generally, the younger you are, the healthier you are. That is why premiums are also cheaper when you are younger, because when you grow older, you tend to have a medical history and you tend to have past operations done, or encountered several sicknesses or illnesses which affect your application to get an insurance. Even if without medical history, let's say you're generally a healthy person, still age is a factor. So if you compare two males, generally healthy, never smoke, never drink, never got sick, but one is 25 years old and the other is 30 years old, still the 25-year-old male has a cheaper premium compared to the 30-year-old male. Males versus females have higher premiums too, because they are more at risk. Who needs life insurance? Life insurance is usually for breadwinners or dads who provide for the family because the benefits go to the dependents or the beneficiaries. But even if you're not a breadwinner, or let's say you're single but you plan to have a family in the future, it is wise to get an insurance policy. By the way, the beneficiaries or the dependents or the people who will receive the money may be updated in the future. So for example, the time you got an insurance, you were 20 years old and single. So most likely your beneficiaries would be your parents or your siblings. Now, when you get married, you can replace your beneficiaries to, let's say, your spouse. And then in the future, when you have a child, you can add your child as a beneficiary. You can edit, you can delete, or you can add beneficiaries on your policy in the future. What to know before getting an insurance policy? You need to identify how much coverage you need, what fits your budget, what type of life insurance should you get, what are your financial goals or priorities, and what riders, if any, would you include. How much coverage do you need? The coverage you need all depends on what your financial or family situation is. Ideally, it should be large enough for you to be able to pay off debts or replace your income. What fits your budget? You need to assess your income and expenses in order to determine your budget for insurance. As long as you secure your emergency fund, that extra amount can be used for your insurance. You may consult with your financial advisor so he or she can make a proposal based on that. What type of life insurance should you get? So there are two types. We have the term life and whole life. Under whole life, we have VULs or variable universal life insurances. It really depends on what your financial goals or needs are, but basically, term insurance means that you are insured for a limited number of years within that term. Whole insurance means that you are insured for your whole life or up to age 99 or 100. VULs, on the other hand, are investment-linked life insurances. These are whole life insurances which part of your money is invested into a certain fund. I'm going to discuss this more on a separate video. What are your financial goals and priorities? You need to identify these to your financial advisor in order for he or she to properly assess you and suggest what policy best fits you. Do you prioritize education? Do you prioritize health? Investment, income protection, savings and retirement? These are some things that you need to let your advisor know to get a proper assessment. What riders, if any, would you get? The most basic life insurance policy only includes protection or death benefit. This benefit goes to your beneficiaries or dependents. There are several riders or like add-ons that you may include in your policy for added living benefits or protection. Here's an example. Let's use Mr. A, who is 25 years old, male, and let's say he got a VUL type of insurance. Okay, so what benefits does he get? He gets a hospital income benefit worth 1,000 pesos, which means if he gets confined in a hospital, he gets 1,000 pesos per day that he may use to cover like hospital expenses. Critical illness benefit worth 500,000 pesos. So let's say he gets sick of cancer. That is considered as a critical illness. He gets 500,000 pesos from the company. Since he's confined in the hospital, aside from the 500,000, he gets the 1,000 pesos per day. 1 million pesos life coverage until age 100. So if Mr. A dies, his beneficiaries get 1 million pesos. Accidental death benefit worth 2 million pesos. So for example, Mr. A dies and his cause of death is due to an accident. Then the beneficiaries get an additional 2 million pesos aside from the 1 million pesos coverage that is already existing. They get 1 million pesos plus 2 million pesos, so they get 3 million pesos in total if the death is caused by an accident. Since this is a VUL or an investment-linked life insurance, part of the premiums he's paying is invested on funds. So these funds grow and he also gets earnings from his investment. This amount is non-guaranteed because it depends on the economy and the movement of the fund. So it can be higher or lower than this amount. How to get one. Now that you know what life insurance is, what the benefits are, and what you need to know before you get one, then you consult with your financial advisor. There are several financial advisors out there from different companies. You may ask your relatives or friends for any recommendations. I myself am one from Manulife Philippines. If you're interested, I am going to leave my contact details down below and I'd be glad to help. Thank you everyone. I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Do subscribe on my channel and don't forget to hit the bell button in order to be notified for more videos similar to these. Thank you. Bye. How much coverage you need? The